I used to be like that until I moved here, but then I realized some chicks are more beneficial by not fucking them and fucking their friends than fucking them. They keep friends. So you already look good.
Shit, but I'm not gonna say it
because if they vouch you, but because what's gonna happen is they vouch for you.
Nigga, I'm fucking.
They vouch for you for their friends.
Yeah, like I got this friend. His name was Ramon. He's this. He's that.
That moment, just like if a gay nigga say, "Oh, yeah, this is good." Like I used to have a gay nigga I used to work with. We'd go out and just go and get everybody. He'd be like, "Oh, this is a good dude. Y'all need to talk to him. He a good guy." That validation right there.
Yep, isn't it?
All of a sudden, okay. All right, but
clearly, a straight wolf.
Like, but that validation. But I realized, like, all right, so it's better just to fuck with you on this type of level because I see what the benefits of it.
Yeah, because you got 10 homegirls, so I could possibly hit
exactly
3 or 4 before they be like, Ramon ain't shit. Versus just fucking with you the one, and you tell all your homegirls, this nigga ain't shit.
Yep. And we got some good pipe.
That's
discipline. Get a good group of friends that's gonna want to pass you around.
That is true.
That's discipline.
Because I've literally had a situation with a friend, and I'm like, yo, I'm talking to so and so, and she was like, so and so got the good wood. I'm like, bitch, damn. Like, that literally was the introduction to that person.
Well, hell of an introduction.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
so you nigga with the,
yeah.
This is Super Mario. This is Mario, not Super Mario.
I'm telling you, like, that was their name. The title of their name was such and such with the good wood. I'm telling you.
That's funny shit.
Like, off of Friday, Sweet Dick Willie. That was really like.
I kind of want to do a video now where it's just a theme song. It's like just Super Mario Bros.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Stirring the Pot.
Brittany, not Brittany.
It's your boy Plush here.
One of your favorite two, but definitely not number 2, Ramon.
Hit that play button and tune into the conversation.
Because now it is time for you to shut the fuck up.
Do you think there will ever be a time men can freely express themselves emotionally?
Oh yes, absolutely. And I think we're like on the brink of that. I think we're on the brink of that. I think the future of think about men in the 1960s, right? And unfortunately, that's exactly what I was literally going to say that, and I was going to say not white men. I don't want to say the phrase. In the 1960s, men it was socially acceptable that women were getting beat.
Yeah.
Right?
It was an understanding.
Women were stay at home, take care of the kids. Men would go out and hunt together, work, do everything they needed to do. Women were second-class citizens, or second to men in the household.
Dogs.
I didn't say that. So, and any man from the 1960s will tell you they didn't talk about their emotions. You don't talk about church, religion, money, finance, and politics. So we're coming now into a time where you can literally have a conversation with different people about how you feel and what you're thinking. Like, that's a normal conversation to sit there and say, I may not always smile, but I'm always happy. That's my emotions. The future, next generation, is all about the emotions. It's all about how you feel and being able to come together. And that's a beautiful thing. But there's a limit to it, because I don't care about all you have to feel, and I'm not going to cater to all your feelings. But it is important to have those conversations about how you feel.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question to that, but I'm going to let you go first.
You need to
I feel like, just like Steve said, this really is the time. It
No,
is
this is not right now.
becoming more socially acceptable to say I'm not okay. To check a woman when she disrespects you verbally. To let her know, like, you know, at the end of the day, what you said affected
That's
me.
always
I don't
acceptable.
appreciate that tone. Either adjust accordingly or I'm going to move a different way. I also have seen, just like you said, in the 1960s, men were, it was okay to physically express yourself. Now it is more of a, people are identifying that as like, no, that's not okay. Like, that's abusive behavior. That's toxic.
Felony.
That's all of these things. You need to find a different way to channel.
Felony, yeah.
You need to find a better way to express yourself. But I just kind of feel like because women are changing and being more accepting, it's making you guys feel safer to change as well. Because there are some women who's like, oh my God, he do this punk ass or bitch ass or whatever. And that's the conversation mature men have. Like, women, y'all want a man to express himself a certain type of way. But when he does, you dictate the limit to which he can do it.
You can't do that. You got
Like-
that's that selective shit. Like, you can't do that. You got to take me with the good and the bad, or don't fuck with it at all.
Yeah, like, oh, he too emotional. He acting
Because
like
that
a
nigga
bitch.
cried the
This is-
sunset. You asked God for an emotional motherfucker. Now you got an emotional motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now he too much of a bitch.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that completely. I think there's. I didn't mean to cut you off. You done? I think that there's what's it called, a spectrum. So like you can be a 10 and you can be a 1, and there's a whole bunch of numbers in the middle. There's a whole bunch of gray in the middle. So I can be emotional. So my emotional is, hey, what you said made me feel some type of way, and how you address that is going to allow me to continue to be emotional or not. If I say, that's what you said made me feel some type of way, and you're like, how that made me feel some type of way,
we just cut that
I'm not
shit
gonna
off.
sit there. I'm not gonna sit there and continue because
much.
I'm over here being open and you return with violence or with
Aggressive.
aggression. So I'm not
Or
interested in
victim.
continuing to have that conversation with you.
Right.
I think there is a limit. Once again, if a nigga cried the sunset, you looking at that nigga like, I'm good.
Yeah, but that's a 10 though. That's a emotional ass nigga.
But here's the thing.
I cried.
But here's the thing. You're asking life. Life
cried
has a funny way.
Yesterday.
You
I cried
ask for
yesterday watching
something.
Billions.
I cried in a movie before. I'm not gonna tell y'all which ones just yet, but I've cried in movies before.
I know the movie.
But life has a funny way of you asking for something and it giving it to you, and all of a sudden
That's overly emotional.
I'm
though.
not fucking with
That's
this.
not,
but
that's not,
but
that's
people
not
ask,
normally
well, I wish I
emotional.
had an emotional man. All right, you got an emotional man who cries at the sunset. What you gonna do now? Like, but I also think it's a matter of how they're raised, because men probably our age are raised.
Some
Punk,
of that punk ass.
punks cry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we raising that masculine, very masculine, but
Toxic.
I feel like I don't think it's toxic.
I think so.
Until, all right.
I don't think. I don't think.
I don't
our
think it's
genera-
toxic.
I don't think our
It is
generation was
because
raised as toxic
if you
masculinity.
skin your knee as a 4-year-old, it's okay for you to have your moment to cry.
It is.
If I say something to hurt your feelings, it's okay for you to cry when you are a child, because at that time you're trying to figure out your
but that's when you are a
emotions.
child. But what I say is not toxic is because the world don't give a fuck about all that.
But
They don't, but it's how you nurture
literally-
that though.
But the world's never gonna care.
You're saying all the right things, but I think that your mindset is, for me, wrong. So if a kid scrapes his knee, the next thing you said, after the next thing you said was, it's important to find out how their emotions work. So what I would ask my child is, you scrape your knee, does it hurt? Because if they instantly cry, I'm not going to instantly go to them and sit there and cater to them. I'm going to ask them if it hurts. Now, there's certain situations, if you scrape your knee and it doesn't hurt, let's keep it moving. But if you scrape your knee,
That's
but
why I
don't
said
ask
what I
you,
said.
and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, poor baby, let me kiss
But that's
her,
how
let me
you
make it feel
nurture
better.
it.
But-
That's the conversation behind
that's why I
it.
say what I
But
said.
have the emotion and address
But-
it accordingly.
But only
but
if it
there
hurts.
But there are people who are like, the moment they look like they want to cry. Like, I know y'all have been around people who don't suck it up. Like, they don't care what happened to their son. It's suck it up, regardless
But
of what
there-
has
there-
happened.
there-
There's no
there's also a
conversation
lesson. I
to
agree.
be had.
But
I
there's
agree.
also a lesson in that, because if you're the leader of your family, you're going through shit ain't right. It's only so much downtime you can spend being down. you got to leave this motherfucking family.
I
Which is why I say
literally
it's not that toxic, because men understand the world don't give a fuck. I still got to go to work. I don't have time if my heart get broken, my wife cheated on me. I ain't got time to go to the mountain to find myself. I still got to go to work, pay these fucking bills, still be the leader of this fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to cuss like I'm aggressive, but still, I'm just...
You're
Yeah,
passionate.
but
you're right.
still be the leader of this family, because everyone's looking towards me. I ain't got time to be showing my emotions. And then on top of that, who am I showing my emotions to?
Sure.
Everybody can't see my shit.
Yeah.
Like, even with my nephew cries, I'm like, why are you crying? Don't tell me you're not crying for no reason. Let's figure out why you're crying. But even then, you still have to limit who sees you cry, because some people come turn that shit against you. Oh, I see that hurts him. Let me fuck with him. But just being a leader, it's like you still got to get up and
But you're still identifying you're not okay. But instead of me cussing people out, spazzing out, being physical, I'm going to channel that into I'm going to overwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to work away this emotion.
I don't agree with that part. I don't believe in work that shit away. You need to find an outlet or find someone to talk to.
But there's a time and place for everything. There's a time there's a time where I can't be emotional right now, and there's a time where, like, hey, listen, I can take some time and I can cry a little bit.
Yep, no,
you should allow yourself both of those things.
I cried at a song a couple months ago. I never thought that song made me cry, but goddamn, I'm in the car driving. I'm like, I'll say it, Through the Wire hit me hard that fucking day.
Yeah, because you hadn't adjusted to whatever it was. You hadn't dealt with that.
I've dealt with it, but it just brought up a lot of memories. I'm like, shit, like, but.
Well, Kanye's story, if you're empathetic too, Kanye's story during that too, you talk about a guy who, you seen his documentary on Netflix? You seen his documentary on Netflix?
I don't really like him.
Kanye West.
No.
Oh yeah. That mother. Yeah.
Right. So if you watch the documentary, if you have empathy, you watch the documentary and you listen to that song.
First of all, I feel attacked.
I'm not. I was recently talking.
She don't have emotions.
Empathy is super big, and being able to be emotional. Empathy has a lot of parts to play in being emotional, because you have to be able to identify with other people's problems, right? It's not being sympathetic, being like, I feel bad for that, but I can understand how that makes you feel.
Yeah.
And that is so important for human development and us as beings. But what I'm trying to say is, Netflix documentary by Kanye West. He goes into like his whole upbringing, and one of the biggest things that hit me was the fact that he was legit a nerd. Like, he wasn't the Kanye that we know today. This nigga had like retainers and had a lisp, and like think about the dude who had retainers and how that smell, you know, was in your. And you ever had to talk to someone with a retainer?
No.
Fucking gross. Sorry for who has a retainer. Back in the day, it was much worse, and the retainers didn't fit so well as they do now.
Yeah, don't feel good either.
You got Invisaligns now. People don't even get. People are not even getting what's called not dentures, fucking braces anymore, because you got Invisalign. Like, technology has advanced so much, but braces, you know. But his retainer, big ass wires in front of his mouth, you know, smells like mouth. He's put his retainers on like DJs and stands and shit like that inside their studios. Like, I don't know if you ever smelled a retainer. It's fucking gross. Like, it could be on that side of the table and I could smell it over here. Like, gross.
It's just
and this
spitting metal.
Right. Yes. So it's like that. It was Kanye West trying to become a rapper, and he got into a car accident. That's what they say. Jaw wired, and he's not stopping his passion. His fucking drive. Like, how do you not cry at that?
I would say it's also a generational thing. There's a reason men in the 60s couldn't be fucking emotional.
Yeah,
they got to worry about not being hung or being discriminated. You know, so somebody just
can't show
them
weakness.
Up. Exactly.
Someone's gonna take advantage of you.
Where we are headed now, I feel like I hope it don't get too emotional on like some Drake Take Care album shit.
Yo,
like I said it because we talked about it last night.
Yeah,
but
that's my emotional song in the world.
Yo, it's a couple songs where I'm like, shit, I can't hear this shit.
Wait, I have a question.
Right,
a follow up.
No, cut him off. It's fine. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you got the floor.
Is it about this whole like men expressing themselves emotionally? Because I waited to hear each of your opinion. Because it doesn't sound like this is a socially acceptable thing. It sounds like it's more so like within your personal relationships. Like, do you think that this is going to be socially acceptable, or is it just within your interpersonal relationships?
Well, first of all, he's my boy, and I'm talking about I feel like that's socially, like, I don't know.
No.
I would say yes, only because now, when Kanye West, perfect person, he is very emotional. He is crazy emotional. And it's like everyone kind of gives it like a pass, like, oh, maybe it's mental. Like, before nobody said anything mental health.
You try to write it off.
Right, it was just like, you're crazy. It wasn't like have empathy because the person might be going through it. So I feel like because we sometimes say, like, especially in the African American community, there's no such thing as mental health. You just got to pick it up, deal with it, because you are the person that is
that's true.
the support for your family. So I feel like, yes, it is going to be more socially acceptable because people really be spazzing out and doing stuff, and you would think that society would hold them more accountable for their actions, but it feels like they're making more of a pass for them, because some things that people do, it's like, come on, good and goddamn well, better than that.
100%.
And now it's like, oh, well, that person could be going through this, that person could be going through this, and they don't know how to effectively channel their emotions, so they're doing these things. So, like, Antonio, whatever his name is,
Antonio
like,
Brown.
he been spazzing the fuck out.
Oh.
And it's really like,
in the fucking
are you fucking serious?
He's a football player. I'm sorry. I can't be... I was only empathetic to him when he was going through it with his baby mama. Because...
he's radical.
Like,
he's super
radical.
Like, they was going through it. But then, like, after that, I'm just like...
Again,
certain
things
like,
you better to do, but society-wise, it's like they're making excuses for him.
Yeah.
Yes, granted, he is of a certain tax bracket.
I agree.
But it just shows you, just not too long ago, we didn't give a fuck how much money you made. That still was, you're not going to get the empathy of something could be going on with you, or he's expressing himself or whatever. So that's what I mean by, like, I feel like society-wise, if a guy has an emotion, it's like, okay.
But that's why I say the world don't give a fuck, because that right there, nobody thinks about that type of shit. It's weird, but that's why I say that. But
they say men that don't swear start wars.
Say again.
Men that don't swear start wars.
Right. It's like holding
fuck.
Right. But it's holding everything in and not being able to express yourself.
Yeah.
Ends up with you going to school and shooting it up.
So this is what I'll say. Hold on, real quick. Like, I feel like it's okay for a man to express themselves, but I'm also not one of those people that feel like there's a difference between men and women expressing themselves. Like, I know y'all probably gonna disagree, but this is just how I feel. Speaking for me personally. She can't spaz, and then I say, oh, well, she's just going through something. And then you spaz, and then I'm just like, oh my God, he's crazy as fuck. Girl, stay the fuck away from him. Like, if the way that she expresses herself, like, to me, and the way you express yourself to me, like,
it's the same.
I'm not going to give you a pass. Like, so I think it's so weird. Like, I had a friend tell me, like, men can't, like, express themselves, and I was just like, that's the craziest shit. I've never heard anybody say that shit a day in my life.
It's Ramon. I know. You could say Ramon's name.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't him. But he do say shit like that.
I feel personally attacked. Men can't do it in the same manner.
Are you being emotional?
Are you emotionally shaming me right now?
No, I just actually
2022. I would light your ass up. I would light your ass. Me and social media would light your ass up.
You need to show me.
No, I'm good. I ain't gay. I'm fucking with you. But no, go ahead, finish.
No, I just think that I think it's okay for men to express themselves as long as it's done in a tactful way. So I wouldn't give a woman a pass just because, she's going through whatever. Like, if you're not going to express yourself emotionally in a tactful way, then bitch, fuck you. And I don't give a damn whatever it is you're going through.
I feel like social media has made it acceptable.
Yes,
socially acceptable. I agree.
We can see now the conversations men has been having for years.
I love watching the barbershop. That barbershop thing.
LeBron James?
I like it, but that was going to be the original title of this, but then I saw that shit. I was like,
That's
motherfucker.
I love that because you get like as a woman you get like an inside look at like what men actually talk about. I love that they are able to be vulnerable like in that way, and I think that's the thing that's missing is that vulnerability.
I think Podden though does a good job of that because I talk with you guys about things that I wouldn't normally have normal discussions about.
Same here. I wouldn't talk.
Watching the Joe Budden podcast, they literally start off with like them having normal conversations. That's how the pod starts. They're just talking about random shit, and then they get into stuff, and then he does the introduction, and it's literally like it's like being people say all the time, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in your house.
Yeah.
Literally what it is. It's just like instantly now you're transformed into a fly and you listen to just normal people talking and just go about their day.
It is like motherfuckers just always need someone to talk to. That's I feel like that's what causes when people they don't have no one that they can trust enough to talk to.
Yeah.
Is what causes because you don't need to go to therapy. Like I told you a long time ago, when me and my friends get together, we can talk to each other. Like, we sit there and have real fucking conversations. We don't need to go to therapy because we trust each other enough to be able to sit there and have this talk. Like, I had a conversation with my boy. I was like, man, have you ever thought about, like, finding your dad? Like, just looking him up and find out why? Because you dealt with enough women to know some of these motherfuckers is crazy. Mm-hmm. And just realize, and really hear his side of the story and realize why he wasn't there.
Hey, I got it.
I know my mom, sweet woman. But I also know my mom is using me as a weapon, whether it's for good or bad. I don't let my love for someone to blind me to who the fuck they are. Like, I know
they're capable of.
Exactly. That right there. I'll say that. What they're capable of. Because, I mean, she had to get leverage some way. And what's the best way to get leverage over a guy?
Children.
Exactly.
Leverage
so
in the child.
She's not accepted the same way I'm not. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter look at me and I know you done this, I'm not immune to this shit. I probably have done it. I probably, you know what I'm saying? I can admit that. But I was like, do you ever think to look and just try to figure that shit out? Because although men like to look at their mom as a fucking angel, it's just like, nah.
Yeah, she an angel to you, but she was a motherfucker to
but
somebody else.
Exactly.
I feel like
it's a totally different relationship. She's crazy.
But as a kid, it's one of those things where I know for women anyways, I can't speak for a guy, but like for a woman, if your dad isn't there, we want to know like, well, I mean, I did go to school. You could have met me at the school. You could have met me at my drop-off point. Like, to us, it's court. Like, a lot of men don't like going to court, but if you're already on child support, you already are in the system. So why not use it towards your benefit? Because honestly, if I was to ever hear my dad say, I went to court, this is what happened in court, and I did not have the funds to make a change, I can be like, okay, you did everything within your power to satisfy me to be like, okay, this is my mom's situation. But if, she just always was a bitch whenever I called, or it's like every time I came to the house, it was an attitude.
When did you understand that, though? When did you understand that?
Understand what?
That's probably what it was.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't, but to me, that's weak.
No, but you can't tell.
People can give you attitude all the time. This is your child.
But you can't tell a kid that. One thing I would never say is, I'm broke. We can't fucking go to Disneyland.
Why not?
No.
We have this conversation.
I'm different about it.
That's a real expectation in life.
I'm different about it. I'm as a man, but as a man, you're looked at as a provider. So it's kind of hard to tell a child I can't afford it.
So you would rather not be around because you can't afford it versus doing something free and spending the time with your child.
But it's not free. Your child really wants to do something. So think about the heartbreak. If you really want to go to prom and get a dress and your dad said, I can't afford it, we can't do it. Your heart is broken. Regardless, you might find a solution to it, but you really wanted this dress. Now you're disappointed.
I feel like that happens when you don't set the stage for your child to know that
once
this
again,
is like
we're talking about a child. There's a place for that. The child's in a certain place. I don't need to explain myself to my child.
Real quick.
I much rather. I don't know. It's also probably an ego thing too.
It is
because I much rather.
Clearly,
I have no problem being a bad guy.
That's not Ramon's ego. That's just a man. That's a man's ego.
So I'll tell you this. I'll tell you my own personal story.
Go ahead. I got
My
a perfect
dad-
example.
Like well, you don't know, but like my dad was with my mom until I was 8, and then they broke up, and then I didn't see my dad, so he was like in and out of our lives for a lot of years, and then like he and I reconnected and stayed like consistently connected when I was 19. So that's a huge age gap. To me, it's unacceptable. You can't tell, especially because I had a child at 16. So if I'm now a parent. So I now know what it takes to be a parent, what is required of me legally as well as emotionally, physically. I know these things now. So now me coming to you as a grown woman with her own child, shut up. How do you explain to me why you weren't there?
See?
Like, how do you explain that to me? So my dad told me, he was like, and when I thought back on it, I was like, okay, my dad is always the fun parent. So he's always the, get your coat on, like put your shoes on. Come on, we're going to go do this. Put your, coat on. Like we're going to go somewhere and go play. Like he used to build up the leaves and throw us in the shit. Like it was always something fun, but it always cost money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. But it always cost money to do it. Like all the things that he wanted to do. But I feel like if he would have said to us, like, and he was like, yeah, well, like, I know, like, I can understand your point of view now. But, like, at that time, especially, too, because he was on drugs. My dad did drugs for a lot of years, 24 years to be exact. So, for him, it's just like, I can't present myself in this state and then tell you I can't do anything for you. Like, it made him feel like shit.
It does.
So, it was his pride, his ego that he wasn't able to put to the side because he had so much other shit going on. So, for him, he felt like we were better off with seeing him when he could do something versus when he couldn't. And
can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Are they done?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you were raised by your mom. You was in your mom's custody.
Yes.
He had no other choice but to be the fun dad.
No,
So
my parents were together. No, I mean like when they were together, my dad was the fun parent. So anytime we went and did something, like one Christmas, like he got us a go-kart, the electric scooter, and like a whole bunch of a whole bunch of shit. Like anytime that we have all of us, like it's 5 of us. You speak to any one of my siblings, they'll all tell you that all of us. I know you got to say something funny.
It's just it's 5 of us, and you know how far apart they were. It's funny.
Mind your business. So if you speak to any of my siblings, like they'll tell you. Any time that we remember a fun time in our life, it was always attached to my dad. It wasn't prior to my dad and my mom breaking up. So it was like while they were in a relationship, all the fun shit, all that shit came from my dad.
What happened with your mom? Your mom wasn't there to provide fun, or
she was, but my mom and my dad were also in a very abusive relationship
with each other.
So yes,
she also got 5 kids. She ain't got time.
He was the abusive one. But then she started whooping his ass back when they towards the end of the relationship.
She a bully.
Whatever. Oh well. That goddamn Tina Turner scene.
Here's how I explain this whole
was
shit.
it for her.
Here's how I explain this whole shit with the whole pride and you can't afford something for your kid. Y'all remember that movie Jingle All the Way?
No.
With
I know what you're talking about.
Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to buy a toy.
Yeah.
You know the bullshit he went through just to get that one fucking toy for his kid? That's
what
fucking dad.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever disappoint my kid. You really want this.
Hunt and gather.
Right now, this is the most important thing in your life right now. And I can't provide it. That shit sucks.
Okay, so I understand that, but let me just tell you something too, because I said this to my dad and he had no comeback. So I want to know if you either of you are gonna have a comeback.
Shalom.
So shut up. So I said okay, I understand.
Yes, 100%.
Shut up. I said okay, I understand that. Like I can begin to understand that because there were times where like my daughter would ask me for something and I couldn't do it, but I would just tell her. Like, I would just tell her, and like, no, you know, I don't got it. We ain't doing it right now. We're just waiting until my next paycheck, whatever, right? So I would have those conversations with her. And to me, I feel like that's me setting the stage so that you don't have the expectation that every time you want something, you have to have it just because I do have it also. But I asked my dad, I said, okay, well, what about the times where if I'm in trouble, right? Like I'm in trouble or you don't feel like I deserve it, right? So I was spoiled as a kid. So I got a lot of what I wanted. Shut up.
You're always right.
I got a lot of what I wanted as a kid. Mm-hmm. So those times where I didn't get something, I was like, I wouldn't say I was a brat about it, but I was disappointed. Like,
and you showed it, right?
Like,
but
you could
now you understand.
You could tell I was disappointed.
But that right there, you showed it.
Okay, but hold on. When your child, I felt like as long as I'm your child and I'm doing good in school and at home, why the fuck should you tell me no? There's no reason that you should tell me no. That's honestly how I felt, and that's the way that my dad lined things up for me. Hold on. So, but for you as a parent, I may not have met your expectation. So if I tell you, or your daughter comes to you and she says, hey, I want to go to Busch Gardens. And to you, you know how much that Busch Gardens ticket costs. You know whatever it is that you have to do to get that Busch Gardens ticket. So what is it that your daughter needs to do to earn that Busch Gardens ticket, right?
That's my answer.
So, but my thing is, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be disappointed. So if I come to you as a parent and I have not met your expectation, and I come to you and I say, hey, Dad, can you take me to Busch Gardens? And I haven't met your expectation, I'm still very much disappointed. Because I asked you for something that you're not going to give me.
You just want to
but you put a goal.
So what is the difference between you coming to your child and telling your child, look, I can't do this.
But most people don't think like this. Most people don't think. You put a goal, like you're pretty much saying, I need to award you a ticket to Busch Gardens versus you come to me being asked me, and now the image, I'm not Superman, your fucking eyes hurts.
That's
like because you're a mother, you can be super close with your daughter like that. But with men, that shit hard.
It is. It's easier for men.
And that's why I said it involves pride and ego.
Yeah, but it's so
we're
easy.
naturally looked as the providers.
Yeah. So
it's fucking hard to tell my baby girl I can't do it, and especially when you're talking about financial. Which a lot of times is financial, they're struggling financially. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just like if you struggle financially, your girl say her car, you pissed off, like her car fucked up. And you was like, yo, we were barely making rent. You pissed off now. You're like, God damn, like, but I gotta get it, like, as much as I want to, it pisses me off more. I can't. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want to tell my child no unless they fucked up. Like, because it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault I didn't make the right decision to save more money. It's my fault I didn't get the education to get the fucking good ass job. I don't want to do that unless they fucked up. Like, no, I want to be able to say, no, you fucked up. You didn't take the trash out. I don't never want to say no just because I made some bad decisions. Like, it is an ego thing.
In your mind say, okay, I don't want to keep having to disappoint my child. So when do you, as a guy, take accountability?
I'm always with discipline my child.
To change
put my
the
foot
outcome.
in their ass.
No, like how people are like financially. So you're disappointing your child.
I thought she said this.
Stay away. No,
as soon as she said this, plan came out there.
No. Because again, the whole thing is like I don't want to disappoint my child, which is why I stay away or I don't come around as much, and then your mom's making it difficult. So it's just like whatever. But when do you say, okay, I'm gonna get a second job, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm just going to?
If I get a second job, how often am I seeing my kid?
You're barely seeing your child now. So it's not anything. Like
maybe it's just me. I much rather my kid have time with me and we could do shit versus just having time and I can't afford shit.
Okay.
Much rather.
So again, when do you say that I'm going to put these things into place so that we have less of the negative conversations or the negative feelings and more of the positive things? Because I think men just like you said, it's a pride and this ego thing. But when you are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up until you really want things that really come with the price tag, you really just want to go to the park with your dad. Like, you just want to watch TV with your dad. You just want to do something with your dad.
How many kids are just saying
they don't know to articulate that to you.
But still.
But think back to when you guys were younger. Did you really want that shiny new bike, or did you really just want your
bike? Fuck. But I'm joking. But it's still, I still want the shiny new bike.
You want it, but if I have to substitute the shiny new bike without my dad,
I would say that now I would substitute time with my dad versus the bike. But at that time, I want the bike.
I grew up very poor. I grew up not having Christmases, not having birthdays every year. I grew up not having a lot of different things coming my way. And I've grown accustomed to not doing that for people and not receiving, not wanting to even receive it from people. Baby shower is different. It's my first child.
I'm just fucking with you, dog.
Hey, listen. The other thing, good point, because like that's one of those things when I'm expecting people to be there, and I actually have a personal problem that I'm dealing with my brother right now because my brother's not going to be there, and that really hurts me because he has 4 kids. This is my first. He has his first kid at 21, 22, 23 years old, and I've never missed any of his birthday showers, baby showers. You know, but he hasn't had the best outcome for his baby showers, but he doesn't want to be there for my baby shower. And there's no excuse in the world. I don't care how far you are.
Anything less than death is bullshit. I got you.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different matter. But moving forward, his answer to coincide with this was, there's so much things in the future, birthdays and stuff like that. I haven't given any of his kids any birthday presents. His oldest is 19 years old.
Damn.
None of them. It is not my job as an uncle to provide gifts for your kids, to a certain extent. Now, but me and my brother have a little bit of a distant relationship, and there's other things that play in account for that. I will take accountability for not being the best uncle and not doing those things. If I had a better relationship with some of his kids, then yes, I'd probably provide a little bit more for birthdays and Christmases. But because we're so distant,
I get that.
I'm not gonna. The last thing I want to do is, I'm talking too much. I'm trying to cut it short. I hate it for my birthdays. Niggas calling me that I didn't talk to all year.
Don't be fake.
Yeah.
Don't be fake because today's my birthday.
I hate that shit too. Like,
don't do that.
How the fuck you get my number? First off,
my mom was like, "Hey, Auntie, Malika's on the phone." Nigga, who the fuck?
Oh,
hey, yeah.
I don't feel so bad. You trying to make me feel bad.
Right. So for me, like, I'm not gonna be that person. If I wasn't there your whole entire year, I'm not gonna provide you with a birthday present and try to make up for the time I haven't been. That's not a good. But what I'm trying to say is, if you promised your child, I don't know if you can hear me.
I'm listening. Sorry.
If a father promised
baby shower gifts.
If a father promised their child something for good grades or whatever it is, you have to live by that.
Yeah.
You don't have to promise that. If I can't afford Busch Gardens, I'm either gonna make it unattainable and settle for less. Dead ass. I'm a salesman though. This is. Oh, you want that? I need A+, straight A+. And then
you get a child like me.
You get a B and an A-. You know what I'm gonna do? You don't get Busch Gardens, but you know what I will do for you? I'll do something less. Something that you'll also enjoy, but it's not Busch Gardens.
Nerf
if you wanted Busch Gardens, then you got to work harder. I've just taught you valuable life lessons because that's legit. And you don't. And I don't even have to express you. I don't even have to express you my finances.
Yeah.
But if my finances are not where they ought to be, luckily, for the foreseeable future they are, because it's been a rough year for me. But then I'm not gonna promise you something that I can't pay. My word is my bond. I don't break them for nobody. Scarface. My word. The only thing I have in this word is my word and my balls. You know what I'm saying? So like,
got her in the mouth.
I'm not gonna say.
Got my word.
I'm talking. What am I teaching my child if I'm promising her if I'm signing checks my ass can't cash?
Yeah. No. So that was just an example. Like my dad, he gave me a lot. Like I didn't really earn a lot.
Though. You're a spoiled little asshole.
But also think about what he might have went through to go get you a lot.
And we had those conversations, because I would tell him that.
Y'all, respect, because, but my kid, like every year for my child's birthday, if she don't deserve it, y'all niggas ain't doing shit. I dare y'all pull up with some gifts on my child's birthday, and she ain't.
I don't feel so bad for that.
We gonna fight. and we gonna fight.
You hate
Give a
me.
damn.
Yeah.
You told me
And
you
It's
had-
not, see, and my dog, I tell her the same shit.
Because I'm gonna have to.
I am my auntie. It's not my responsibility to discipline.
Look at what Brittany got you. Oh, it's so nice.
You ain't shit.
Pawn shop.
Fuck yeah.
Pawn shop.
Oh.
And taking the money out the card.
My child.
Yeah, you really ain't shit.
But
Respectfully, my child would never sit there and ignore me on a fucking hoverboard on an iPad. It would be motherfucking Armageddon.
I would have fun with
my
it.
nigga.
I would string up and let them just run right into it, knock that. I would have fun with it. I'm sorry.
Nigga, I do that bitch like you punished.
I'm just saying, look,
You don't punish me.
look.
Huh? Goody rum. Let me.
Remember you told me
Hoverboard.
October 9th, you told me you hated me. Christmas canceled, bitch. Get the fuck out of my face. Get out of my face.
God.
Christmas is canceled. Like, I always say this. Imagine if our parents held us up to that standard, being on the naughty and nice list. Imagine. No fucking Christmas. Oh, you fucked up one time this year. Fuck Christmas. It's out. No birthday present, no Christmas. It's out of the picture. You fucked up.
And here's the other thing on top of that. Kids are fucking kids. We grew up. I don't know about you guys. I didn't grow up with internet. We didn't grow up with internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up with mad shit. My first computer, I was 25 years old. I bought my first laptop at 25. I never had a computer. Actually, I have one computer. And funny enough, it had we got it from the trash. It had a fucking. My mom was a trash digger. My mom would find the best shit in the trash. Yo, I had.
Sounds very
My aunt
resourceful.
is like
resourceful.
that. My aunt is like that.
My mom had a.
She upgraded
chest.
to the thrift shops.
My mom had a coffee top she put on top of a chest. So she put all the linen in the chest. So you move the coffee top table off of it, like the top of the coffee table, and under it would be the linen. Like, mad resourceful, but she found both in the trash. I still have her chest that she found in the trash to this day. It's probably an expensive ass
That's how my
chest.
grandma was.
Oh, wow.
But, like,
Like she would see certain stuff because people would put out a lot of nice stuff,
Yeah.
herb or whatever. So I get it. I just feel like it's okay to be financially honest with your children.
Can I finish what I was
Oh, I'm
saying?
sorry.
But there's kids in Africa, I shouldn't say kids. There's poor kids all around the world that entertain themselves with a box.
Yeah.
You can find entertainment outside of technology.
I agree.
So you have to be able to teach your kids how to go out and do it and get it some other way.
I agree with that. Like, go ahead. What would you do?
And that's what I was basically saying. Like, it's okay to be financially honest with your child. Like, I don't have money for that. However, let's do something else because you're right. This day and age, kids have so much stuff. And, like, my kids will have stuff. And I'll be like, you know what? Let's go to the park. Like, our park is
Most expensive.
walking distance. And they have so much fun. You have a
Pool.
walking
Yeah.
distance. And, again, you're paying for it on the back end, but in that moment, it is free. It's virtually free to walk down the street to your neighborhood park or put them in a wagon. Like, my dad, one thing I can really say about him, he was financially honest. Like, what he would say is, all right, pick 3 things that you want for your birthday, and I'm going to try my best to get you one of those 3 things. Pick 3 things that you want for Christmas, and I'm going to try my best to get you one of those 3 things.
I love that.
Even like, kids love McDonald's, especially when you have like a parent who has multiple kids so they don't have it. My dad would be like, oh, I can make you McDonald's. And sure enough, he would make us the meatball burgers. Not the ones that are flat, but they meatball burgers like this. And like, we had the memory because we would be in the kitchen cooking with them. So it's like stuff that you don't think about that your child values. It really is just your presence being there. Of course, you're going to want the red bike. But when you think about it as you get older, because we all self-reflect, eventually your child is going to appreciate the moments that they had with you over the lack of.
The most expensive asset we have on this planet is time. There's nothing more expensive than time.
And that's why I asked y'all, when y'all understood this, what age were y'all? Like, y'all were older. Y'all understood, oh, that's why. Because it's not easy to tell your kid. Like, you don't want to tell your kid, no, it's definitely a pride thing. But them fucking, I can make you McDonald's burgers. Like, I used to hate this. It's the same, yo.
And like I said, my daddy would make the meatball burgers. I'd be like, yo, smash that shit.
Yeah, smash that shit now.
But you still ate it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'll say
she
this.
made it. It's even that get your ass whooped on it. I'm good.
My dad wasn't that type of parent.
Sleep for dinner.
Right.
No. That's one thing. I'm happy that's not a black lesson I ever had to learn.
What?
that like you gonna eat what the fuck I cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make a sandwich. Like my mom never made 2 meals. Like that's just what it was. Like I'm not gonna beat you, but we ain't making 2 meals.
Are you gonna go sleep on an empty stomach?
Oh, you don't like onions? Pick them out.
Yeah, like
What you
they're not accommodating you. You're a child.
Yeah. There's
no.
one thing that my mom did that I absolutely hate, and to this day is that I had to eat all the food that was on my plate. That was the worst thing my mom's ever done to me. Because to this day, like I feel forced to overeat, and like gorge and binge.
But let me ask you a question: Did you put all this shit on your plate?
No, my mom made my plate.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I can understand the motherfucker. You chose it. Accountability. You put all that shit on your plate.
Yeah.
But I'm
To
just asking.
a certain age, my mom would make my plate, but it was already installed in me at a young age. And then I went to the military.
Okay,
I had to make my
too.
own plate, but then you only have 5 minutes to eat, if
Yeah.
that.
No,
So
yeah.
now you're fucking buffing down food and shit. Right? So it's
You
like,
ever do that? You straight Yoshi.
yeah. You gotta put dress in. You gotta lube the food. No bullshit. You gotta lube the food. Chicken, mac and cheese, they all get Italian.
Matter of fact,
get Italian, mix that shit up.
Matter of fact,
Lube.
just blend it up.
Put that
Blend
shit-
it together and let me drink it. Fuck it.
Ew.
Gross. Yeah, no, it's military stuff.
But I used to hate that shit. Like,
So those 2 reasons, like now, like I'm like constantly trying to change my diet and how I eat and when I eat.
I just eat when I'm hungry. I'm like, and there'll be days I don't want to be hungry at all. I'm like, I guess I'm good.
That doesn't work for me.
I'm good. I still be having the energy, all the energy in the world. It's just because I've overate. I'm
If
just
I, if I get hungry, I'm eating everything. I need steak and cheese, a large piece of pussy.
See?
Give me that.
Oh, damn.
That last one is dessert. All right.
I covered
Give
all
me the right
bases.
person, it's dessert. All right. That don't really count as meal. That counts as reward.
Lord.
But that shit, it is a pride thing. I'm not gonna deny because I mean, damn. I used to like. I couldn't do it. It would hurt my heart to tell my daughter like I can't afford it. To be that honest, I much rather just look at back like.
But you don't have to. You just say no. People don't. I was talking to dude last night. Like people don't understand the power of no. Sometimes no is just no.
No,
I don't have to. I don't have to give you 1,000 gifts for Christmas.
I have no problem saying no, but at that time, yes.
I think what
That
it
shit
is
hurt.
is when you know you can't afford it. Like it's easy to
Yeah.
tell your motherfucking child no when they don't deserve the shit, or when you
And
got
that's
the
why I
money.
said
It's like
that,
no,
yep.
little nigga, you ain't getting it.
Yep.
Like it is what it
I can
is.
cancel Christmas. You fucked up.
Because you can actually
I can't.
afford
You can
Christmas.
justify it, but when it's just like.
It won't be a motherfucking riff in this whole house.
Imagine you
You won't smoke.
just paid rent.
Smoke pine
You
for
finally
me.
scraped enough change to pay all your rent and your car break down.
Yeah.
Sick.
Exactly. It's just like, or
that's what
your wife
happens.
needs this. It's like, man, you always want some shit. Like you get frustrated. It's nothing towards her. It's
Why
just
she always wants some shit?
you frustrated. Like motherfucker, you got bad timing like a motherfucker. Like the fact that I just paid this shit off and you all of a sudden need. You got bad timing. You know? Like it's not towards them. It's just you're frustrated because you want to be able to. You signed up for a position to take care of shit, right? To be that motherfucker that they go to. Last thing you want is her going to a nigga down the street. Can you help me? What? That hurts. I don't want that. I don't even want you going to your dad for shit. Like I don't give a fuck what he can do. I don't want you going to him for shit because now it looks bad on me. Like I can't take care of shit. He got to step in. Like nah, I don't want all that. I got it. If I don't know it, I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna take care of it. Like, but that's just me. So that's why I say I know it's a pride thing. I have no problem telling my daughter no a little bit, but she got a phone out of me, iPhone, a 12 iPhone at that. So I have no problem saying no, just a little bit. But yeah, before
I hate seeing spoiled kids. I won't say I hate spoiled kids. I just hate seeing spoiled kids because
It is annoying as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. It's annoying as
I
fuck
would-
to see a spoiled ass
Paris
child.
fault.
I drove my
Agreed.
bike every fucking where. Like I went everywhere on my bike. I was outside. I was trying to be as athletic as possible. The only reason why I'm not and didn't go to college and I was an athlete because I literally didn't have enough money to wash my clothes and not smell like sweat. So I couldn't do football because I didn't have enough money to buy clothes. It's the only reason why I didn't go to college because I was extremely gifted as an athlete. But like being spoiled. I thought about my dad and like my dad not being there. My dad was working for a law firm in Boston. He could have easily went the law route. He's a great salesman. He could have easily did life insurance, health insurance up in Boston, but very, very successful. But me talking to my dad now and having a relationship at 31 years old, my dad's 60 something. You know, I'm just like, I would have been spoiled little brat. I would have I would have been a spoiled little bastard.
I feel like the spoiledness is all about how you maintain it. It's the entitled part that I feel like, because I can spoil you, but you still not feel entitled to a goddamn thing I'm giving you.
That is true.
Like, I can't stand the entitlement. Like, you expect motherfuckers.
I hate entitlement.
Like, you expect motherfuckers to do certain shit. Like, first of all, I'm gonna use this example. Because you're a woman, you expect a motherfucker to open the door for you.
I had a girl
That's
that was like
entitlement.
that. I had a girl that
Like,
literally.
if I do it, cool. But when the moment you expect it, it's now a problem. Like,
Did I tell you about the girl I was dating? I was dating a girl. She would wait in front of the doors and wait for me to open the doors.
Yeah, you did tell us that.
I just feel like if you're that type of woman, then you need to walk
crazy, it's
behind
close.
your man. Like, allow him to get to the door before you, because he's naturally
once again,
gonna
like you
open
mentioned
the door.
earlier,
That's
it's
tact,
tact.
though.
Yeah, it's tact. It's the way you
Naturally
do it.
gonna
No,
open the door.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. Because it's all about doing. So if he's walking to the door, that's when you just slow up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
kinda
you
look
walk kind of
did I
behind
drop
your
something?
guy.
Be
Yeah.
slick about it.
Like,
Be slick about
but
it.
if I'm beating you to the door and I'm standing there, if I was the guy, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with your arms? Like, I don't, just like I said, it's the entitlement, like how you're going about it, because we both arrived here together, but you beat me to the door to stand in front of the door and wait for me to get here.
And then there's the opposite too, where girls are too independent, where you won't allow a man to hold the door for you.
I've
I
ran
think
into
I'm
that
slow
shit.
down.
I've dated both.
I ran
I've
into
never
that
done
shit.
that.
So if a chick did that to me, I'd be like, now sit, now sit, wait for me, like I'm training a dog. Like, but I don't want to do that. But I would have fun.
Yeah,
do that type of shit.
because
Like,
I walk naturally fast. Like, I literally walk fast. But just like you said, like, I'll be like, damn, I'm actually on a date. Like, slow the fuck down. Like, give this guy the opportunity to open
so what do
the
you
door.
like?
Now, you see-
What do you like?
I swear, like, just when you are independent or an alpha woman, it's like your mind is always on providing for yourself, making sure you're good.
I
So
love.
when you're in a relationship with someone else, you do have to slow down to give them the opportunity to provide for you, to be first, and allow yourself to be second.
That's all you
My-
trust, motherfucker.
My love and hate is alpha
Telling you,
woman.
I just-
My love and hate is alpha woman, because like how do you teach a woman to like want to be alpha, knowing that her selection is gonna go down significantly, because there's not so many men that are willing to play second fiddle for a woman, and if you do
Pick
find
me.
a man that's willing to play second
gotta-
fiddle,
I gotta-
he also
Ooh.
has to be you want your hypothetically daughter to find a woman that is
Find a woman.
find a man.
It's 2022.
It
We
could-
don't know
and,
that.
and that's the other thing too. It's like, not to say I need my daughter to be heterosexual, but I would I could say this. I prefer my daughter to be heterosexual, and if she was going to be heterosexual, how do I raise her to be masculine enough and dominant enough to be the leader regardless if a man's there or not, but also teach her that she has to have a man. She should have a man that should be by her side, her equal.
You set the example with how you treat her mother.
And how you treat her as well. But can I tell you something? Just
But
like
let me just reply to that though. But the amount of men out there are slim to none. There's not many niggas out there that do that.
And that
do
comes
what?
into the standard of what your daughter's going to have about herself. Because there are some women, I don't date a guy who don't have this, and that. That's her standard, because either somebody taught her that or she's seen it and she's realized that this is what it is. So my dad, to this day, he will open my car door for me. He will open my door for me. Is that a standard that I put on my guy? No, it's not. But my father has shown me this is how I value you.
So you
And this
spoiled,
is what I'm
not
going to
entitled.
do with you.
Right.
But for myself and the person that I'm dealing with, like, okay. If
You find different ways for him to prove that he.
yeah, again, if I get to the door first, I'm going to open that motherfucker. But if you get to the door first, how dare you stand there and wait for me to open it for you?
This is a dumb
So
question.
it's just having the conversations with your daughter and showing her, like, you know, at the end of the day, don't let no man put his hands on you. Don't let him talk to you crazy.
Don't
Make
go
sure you
spot
always
10
have your
miles out of your
own money,
home.
so no man can have financial, you know, power over you. These are conversations. And again, the girl Erica Banks just got dumped because she's not feminine enough for her dude. Like, you can be
Banks is my girl, so
your own
except
independent
she's Austin. I
person.
don't really fuck with the rest of Austin.
You can really be independent, but you can also be a woman. Like,
Yeah.
allow your man to be the man.
Right.
It's not hard. It's really not.
What you
So
said
do
about...
you-
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
Can you cook?
Yes. I have
What
children.
you said about the raising part.
You have what?
I have children.
Children?
Children. So, yeah, I
wouldn't-
gotta cook.
I wouldn't do everything for my daughter. I need her to figure some shit out. And that right there, being used to everything being done for you, I feel like plays a factor in it. I'm not doing everything. You need to figure some shit out. Like, you need to figure out how to do something. I'm gonna watch you struggle. Like, because I need to understand. I need you to understand. Everybody ain't gonna be there to be able. You as an adult, you have to do this.
Yeah.
It's something you're not avoiding.
Why watch her struggle versus teaching her to not struggle?
But it's also teaching her how to use her brain in different ways. I can teach her that,
And
but
under
until she
different
actually applies it, it means nothing. Right. Until she actually I can sit here, put a cap in the bottle, and say, "Get the bottle out." I can show her, but she needs to figure it out on her own. She's gonna remember it more. So once she figures out, you can't touch the bottle. Or you can teach her
and then test her on what you taught her. Like, I know how to change a tire.
I'm going to teach her how to use her brain.
I cannot.
There's more than one way to solve
do it.
There's more than one way to solve a problem. I'm not saying everything.
Okay.
Stuff like that, you better be taught that, because if you do it yourself and forget to put them bolts on, you fucked again. Like, I'm not saying everything, but there's some things I'm like, I can't. You need to start using your brain. If I give it to you, you're not gonna know what to do.
That's the number one thing that I want to teach my
No,
child.
Steve, you cut me off. You didn't let me say what I need to say.
That's the number one thing I want to teach my child.
She's right again.
She's right?
She's right.
No, I was going to say to your earlier question, you can teach your daughter how to be an alpha and teach her how to be independent, and along with what she said, just showing, like, giving her examples through how you treat her mother and how you are also treating her. But women, whether they want to admit it or not, naturally submit. Like, if a woman is being led properly, submission comes easy. But it's all about whether or not that woman trusts you and respects you.
Especially when you throw a thumb in the butt.
I would teach my daughter. I would teach my daughter.
No, that was real.
Regardless of how you feel, you could be alpha, but every manager has a manager. Like, you gotta. There's somebody above you at all fucking times. You can be smart prey, or you can be easy prey. You're still gonna be prey. Like, now, what my job is to help weave out and not make you easy prey. Instead of making you a fucking fucking snail, I'm supposed to make you a gazelle. You're gonna get caught, but who catches you is who puts that effort into catching you, versus just all right. Like, so that's my job.
No low hanging fruit.
Exactly. Like, motherfucker got to climb Mount Everest. That's my job. If they want you, they got to be willing to die for that shit. If they ain't willing to do that, then
and also teach them how to identify a good person.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Like,
because everyone that presents themselves to be a good person.
Exactly. Like, sometimes it's a gesture is from more so not from the kindness of his heart, but the kindness of his balls. Like,
shit.
Like,
yo,
like, no, it's real shit. Like, I'm not.
You be dickmatized sometimes, though.
It's not that I'm being nice to you out of the kindness of my heart. Is
how far I'm gonna go. But it's always.
So let me be nice.
But people say, you got to tell your daughters that they're beautiful in home. You got to tell them that you love them. So when they don't seek outside validation. So just because the guy told me I'm pretty, I'm not finna bust it open for him.
I mean, but tell him that
now
puts him entitled to hear it all the time.
No, honestly, when you hear it enough, you become numb to it.
You
really become.
No, that's not true, because
like my
I feel that way about when people say that about my eyes.
Kid?
Yeah, I got so fucking tired of that real quick.
So the guy you had a child by didn't tell you he was beautiful at all?
Yeah.
And he got pussy, right?
Not because he
was the right one at that time, right?
But it had nothing to do with
him telling me I'm beautiful.
In
addition to, I think what she's trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just because, Brittany, you're so beautiful. You look so good. And I like your eyes.
Yeah.
Some girls, that's
no, I know. That's why I stopped saying that. Because the moment I don't say it anymore, I now have a problem.
But that's our point. You part of that weeding out is to build your. My dad used to do. Shut up. My dad used to. My dad used to have us like when we got our hair done.
I felt
like my brothers, he'll have them like ready on the couch for us. So when we walk in, like, bitch, they hyped us up the moment we hit the door. Like, you look so good, your beat so cute. Like, we got hyped up every time. Like, So I think it is important for you to build your kids up so that when they do get out, like Bradenton's so small, and everybody.
You live in Bradenton?
Bradenton, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck you. It is really little though. It's nothing there. So the thing that everybody wanted, which is unfortunate now that I'm older, but everybody wanted a drug dealer. He's got all the money. He's so flashy. He got a car. Like, you drive to school. I come pick you up from the bus stop. All your friends at the bus stop. I'm gonna come pick you up, and you gonna get in my Benz. I'm gonna take you to school. Come on. Like, bitch, that's a big flex for me.
You talking about drug dealers or pedophiles?
Drug dealers.
If you got a Benz, you fuck with somebody staying at the bus stop, that's a little...
No, because they supposed to be at the bus stop too.
So I have a question. What age range is out of the pedophile range?
Actually, there's a video that I can show you that breaks down what a pedophile is.
I know what video you're talking about. But he sounded like a pedophile.
He sounded like a pedophile.
And that was his whole joke. Me breaking it down, I now sound like a pedophile.
Like, oh, no, we cannot listen to R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a pedophile. And now here's the thing. And just hear me out for 1 second. Technically speaking, R. Kelly is not a pedophile. Just give me 1 second. I promise this goes well. Just hear me out. The term pedophile refers to people who are attracted to those that are prepubescent. Then there's something called a hebephile. That's people who are attracted to those in the early stages of puberty, like 11, 12, 13, 14. And then there's something called an ephebophile. That's people who are attracted to those in the later stages of puberty, like 15, 16, 17, 18. But I think the reason we don't make those distinctions is because it's very hard to explain the difference without sounding like a pedophile.
There's different for different ages that you are sexually attracted to or targeting. There's a different word for it. And I think pedophile is like 13 to 14. Yeah. The actual definition of pedophile identifies from 13 to 14.
But a lot of people don't know this.
A hemophile or genophile. I'm making these names up. Hemophile, genophile, cryptophile would be like 15, 16, 17. Mm-hmm. So if you're asking for it like a direct, there's actually like an age definition for a pedophile. But I would say anyone, I think this is two things, right? I don't mind fucking an 18-year-old girl. I don't have anything in common with an 18-year-old girl at 31 and at a mature 31-year-old. I would consider myself a little bit more mature than 31. So it would be hard for me to identify with an 18-year-old. If it's strictly like pure pleasure and we can identify we're good, cool. But there are people who target women who look like they're 18, whether they're 23, 24, 25 years old.
So is that an 18-year-old who is still in high school or an 18-year-old who has graduated?
That's why.
I don't think it matters.
But my
18 is 18.
See, that right there. Me personally, I would feel like a pedophile. I don't fuck with anybody under 25. Mm-hmm. Because if I say 18, if I say, oh, well, the law says as long as you're 18, I'm good.
Right.
Then if the law was 14, I'll still be fucking good. Mm-hmm. That's me personally. So I just don't get into that territory. Plus, like you said, I have nothing in common for you. What I tell you, when I met last night, when I met the bar we went to, I met a chick she had just turned 21. I learned that after I met her, got a number, and we went out. I was like, well, this is the last I'll be fucking doing this. Right. The last time we'll fucking talk, because we have nothing in common. You have not lived enough
for me to truly experience
to be understandable to your situation. Everything you tell me is going to sound like a fucking complaint, and because I probably done it, so why didn't you just do this? Now it sounds like I'm fucking I guess the word is patronizing or just being a dickhead. Or I'm never going to understand that your teacher, even if she's 18 in high school, if a chick came to me and said, my teacher gave me F, that bitch, I don't understand none of this shit you're talking about. Like, I can't relate. Like, I'll never be able to relate at this age.
So to finish, it's like, if you're looking for someone who looks 18, is different from actually fucking with someone who is 18. Because just because she is 18 doesn't mean she looks 18, doesn't mean she acts 18, doesn't mean she any of those things. So I would, if I had to, right, 18-year-old girl who was 5, fucking 10, and thick as fuck, 200 pounds, 180 pounds, something like that, could easily carry herself as someone who's older and may have had a little more life experience and wasn't like an average 18-year-old, I could see myself being sexual without obviously a goal of a relationship with, and I want to say platonic but casual with, let's say. But like I wouldn't target someone who is 18 years old who looks 18, regardless of whether you're 25, 26 years old, because it's 25 years old going out there that 120 pounds and 5 foot tall. You know, like that for me, the figure of an 18-year-old is what I would consider a pedophile. If you're looking for someone with the figure of an 18-year-old woman, you're looking for someone who's small and petite, and that's like.
So you're a predator.
It's it's a little weird for me.
Okay.
But I can understand why some people, not R. Kelly, but some people are targeting people who are younger, who are less experienced. There are different biological components of someone who is younger. Yeah. You have kids, your titty's gonna sag. That's just reality. 25, 26, 28, 30, 35 years old. That's reality. You're older, you have a little more, you have less elasticity in your skin. You don't take care of yourself, you have even more elasticity. Those different things that are.
I can take you to Olive Garden.
Right.
And you think it's the fucking world versus you've already been to Paris, so me taking you to Olive Garden is just bullshit.
Right. Yeah. There's a lure for that, and I can understand and I can identify. And there's some girls out there too that are 16 years old and they look like they're 25 years old. If you know they're 20, if you know they're 16 and you continue to pursue, it's gross.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's gross.
Because you haven't even got time to have an investment in that person emotionally. It's so easy to walk away. You're 16? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Right.
2, the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Sexually.
Yeah. It's like, well, if I'm fucking with somebody that young, I don't have to have the biggest dick in the world because unless you're a slut, not a slut, but unless you got experience at a young age, which a lot of people don't.
No, but even then, that's sick though too.
But
she's 18, experience is like.
But still, some dudes do it. But you see it. Yeah. Like it's obvious. It's like, well, some dudes do it. Not gonna call no names, but some dudes do it, and it's just like, well, she did. Especially if she hasn't had that much experience. It's like, well, as far as I know, I'm the biggest she's had. So I'm cool with that. Like, so they approach 100%. That because it's the experience factor on it.
If you're 18, if you any age, if you only had 2 people you've had sex with, I could be the best sex you'll ever have. You wouldn't even know.
Because your list of who you compare me to.
Ooh, that ain't y'all ain't never lied.
But your list of who you compare me to is so small.
You don't know.
Exactly.
And that's
you'll never know.
That trash ass dick.
Right.
But I'm a third nigga you had sex with. Shut up.
Right. You need to suffer through a couple bad dicks. 4, 5, 6 bad dicks and be
4
like,
or 5.
That's too many.
Hey.
4 or 5.
You know what they say? The best writers go through shit. Are the ones who experience the most pain.
They say failure. What did they say? I think you learn more in failure than you do with success. Because failure tells you.
I only got to be failed twice before I be like, nope.
So what you're saying is you fuck a guy with bad dick twice before you say no.
No, you get one.
See, that's that pressure. Like
one and done.
If you ever wonder why a dude don't get hard, I only got one time.
One and done.
One time I show out. That's a lot.
That one time's a tough one. I even for me, like I try not to do one night stands too, but
try.
The first time I don't like one night stands, but the first time I'm gonna give you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of leeway. I'm gonna give you a little bit of rope. But the second time you better bring your A game.
Yeah, I don't believe the first impressions make the person.
Yeah. So at this age now, you still are like.
I'll give you a second chance.
At this age now, I can have a 5-minute conversation with you and know exactly what I want to do, if I'm going to do it to you, and what you would allow me to do.
I could say he agrees with Tate more than he thinks. I'm joking. I'm joking with you.
Because I'm just saying, Britton, so at this age, a person can get a redo?
No.
Ramon?
Depends on what
happens. It depends on. All right, so I'll break it down. I'll break it down like this.
Like early.
It was just bad sex. Regardless of what it was just bad sex.
I'll break it down like this, right? Because I've had the experience, and where I didn't perform to the max, but a motherfucker gave me a second chance. It only be strictly off the strength that they like me. Mm-hmm. Versus like outside of sex.
So it's really
they like me. So for me, if I like the individual, all right, I'll give you a second chance.
Okay.
I'm gonna because I can understand. I also understand because for the longest I never did, but I also understand. I didn't get to perform very well or at all. I understand that sometimes motherfuckers is nervous the first time. That first time with anybody.
What if it's not a first time?
The
Like,
first
what if
time
it's
with,
like
but
Later in life, like y'all
but even then-
smashed around when y'all were
but
younger.
you're still more
than women because
but
if a man comes fast, like I think he deserves a second chance. If a man,
You do?
yeah, if a man comes fast,
Is this the first time y'all having sex?
so first
Yeah.
for man
and
going
he
from
come quick? No.
going from black to white is different. It's no better.
You said that.
It's no better or worse, but there's a difference. So if you're like you don't know a nigga's history, and then messing with like a thicker girl versus a skinny girl,
What
it's
you
like
used to?
you have it shit changes, and then you don't like the face doesn't tell you how good the pussy is, and sex and pussy is different.
Also,
It's not the
I
same.
understand.
You got bomb ass pussy and whack ass sex. You got bomb ass sex, and whack ass pussy.
I understand.
I can do this.
I understand this.
After this, explain.
No, explain now.
Hold on. I understand this. We're learning, especially when it's the first time we're having sex, we're learning each other's bodies. That.
But see, you already.
If you trash, you trash. No.
But some women got
Trash.
Sudoku bodies. It's complicated as fuck. They don't like certain shit. Because I'm the type of person.
Well, you should know all that before you even get in it.
You should, but not too many people have that conversation, or sometimes shit just fucking happens. But you know what I'm saying? But also, I've done certain shit where a chick said, I don't like that. And it was weird for me. It's like, well, I now have to find another approach on how to do it. So, but I
That doesn't
understand
mean
the
it was
awkwardness.
bad sex though. What you tried, she just didn't.
But that's
like
why I
it,
would.
and you made up
but
for it.
the first time don't necessarily. It's bad for me because I'm not used to it. It's bad for me because it's not what I'm used to.
I keep thinking about Kevin Gates bad for me.
So that's why I would consider. That's why I would be like, all right, is it just me? Because I think about that. Is it me and what I'm used to that's making it bad, or is it just actually bad? So that second time, all right.
Oh, the second time let you know.
Yeah, because two times is a routine. Like at this point, if you do something twice, it now becomes a routine. That's all. To me, that's all it takes for a motherfucker to get used to something twice. Like so, it's like, all right. I'm not as drunk this time. It's still shit, still trash. I need to let it be.
Okay.
But I also understand for women. Women might get shy. I've been dealing with chicks who've been told, "Oh, you know, don't make noise when we fuck." I want all the noise, but I understand that she's stuck on that, thinking that that's what guys don't like because this fucking asshole done told her don't make noise. Like. I'm big on noise. Like, you're not about to sit here like a fucking dead body. I don't care if grandma next door. I am performing. Tell me you're not making noise. Challenge accepted, bitch.
Oh.
I'm going in. I'm going to do what? Hey, don't make me go outside my bubble because you going to make some noise in this motherfucker. Hey, look. I've had it told to me, all my brothers here, I don't give a fuck. If they don't think we fucking already, shame on them. Like, shame on them. Like, I'm just that type of person, but that's why I would give a person a second chance because someone gave me a second chance. But also, I understand for certain people, it's
Did
all
you
about.
perform better the second time?
You fucking right.
Okay.
You are
That's
fucking right.
prove. Had a point to prove.
I had look.
The
I was
IOU
too
thing is
excited.
crazy.
I don't know.
At any, whether it's an IOU, like you ignored me in high school, or an IOU, like you got me the first time and I seen you again in the club, or an IOU, like you escaped me the first time in the club and I seen you again, the IOU dick is something different.
Hey,
I don't know. I just feel
Okay.
I done got a chick. I was
have
like,
a
I didn't get you in
question.
high school, but I got you
God.
now.
I got a laundry list, niggas. Whole bunch of IOUs.
This is in my mind. I'm gonna treat this like, yo, this is wedding night.
No.
We going in.
I'm like Drake. One time is all I need.
And that might
Okay,
be
so
true.
what do you consider bad sex?
Starfish.
What the fuck is that?
Bad head.
Oh, that bad head.
To me,
So for women, so I'll give you an example for women to understand. You ever had a nigga with a big dick
yeah.
that couldn't stroke?
What if he just put it in? You didn't move.
Yeah.
Same question.
No.
You ever had a nigga with a small dick that could stroke?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a difference.
Or what if a nigga just put dick in? You just sat there.
Just sat there.
He didn't move. He on top of you. I put dick in. So.
Oh my God. One and done.
And that's the difference between like good sex and good pussy, because your pussy could be pot fire, But if you're not moving the way, you're not like, we don't have
so
a
not
chemistry.
into it.
Yeah, you don't have a chemistry. We're not fluid. Like sex and motion. Like
That's-
if I'm stroking and I pull out and you're still in the same position, like maybe you should switch. You know, maybe you should initiate the switch. You know, maybe if I'm stroking and you don't like it, maybe you should do some stuff. If you don't know how to arch your back, if you're moaning weird, like there's not different shit.
I don't know. I like a good oink in there.
There's girls with.
I like a bitch to snort. when she comes.
What is a
Yes.
weird moan?
A bitch do that whole, I'm out of there.
Nigga, you watched porn before. Them white girls don't know how to moan.
Oh, Tommy,
Like, this
Tommy.
is clearly
What
fake.
you talking about, bro? What? I'm over here like this.
When it gets Tommy, this how you know. This how you know it's fake.
Well, you shouldn't have gave her your
I
hand.
ain't this fucking good, bitch. Like, I'm
100%.
cool. I'm not
100%.
this good that you
100%.
would. The
I'm
force
good,
you giving
bro.
me
Yeah,
ain't this good.
The moan don't match the stroke.
Exactly. That right there.
Right.
It's like,
Especially
I know you
if
faking.
if I'm in first gear and you're in 10. Like,
Yeah.
we got, ooh.
I'm still waking up.
better
man.
say that shit.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah.
That's
So
funny.
you can never tell with girls if they got good pussies or not. Like you got fat pussies, you got skinny pussy, you got wet pussy, you got cream pussy, you got squirters, you got
dry
fucking dry pussy, you got dry tight pussy, you got loose pussy, you got loose pussy with girls with Kegel muscle, so they think they're squeezing
can-
it,
yeah,
the
squeeze
Kegel
it, keep
muscle,
grip.
it'd be good and all that other shit. So
I don't
there's
like the
mad,
dry.
like variations
I don't like the
of
dry
vagina.
pussy, and then they say try to blame it on you. Like
It is to a certain extent.
No, it's not.
no, but
Yes,
it's still.
it is.
But even
it's
if,
not.
but hold on, it's still you
'Cause listen.
you know you're not turned on by me. But still, I still got you heat.
A pussy only stay wet for so long too. Pussy don't stay wet forever.
Yeah.
You can't have sex 6 hours and expect your pussy to stay consistent, stay wet.
True.
Plus,
So there's a level of a component where I will take accountability for it. And there's a level of a component where it's just like your vagina don't last that long. That's nothing to do with me.
And for
I
me-
treat short pussy girls like I treat like women treat short dick niggas. What the fuck you mean? I mean, then I hit the back wall in the first couple inches. Like, what you talking about? Get the fuck out of here.
for me,
Seriously,
For me-
I'm joking. I treat y'all hoes.
if I'm fucking with a chick and we getting it started, it's just like I understand it might take someone time before
20 to 30 minutes.
what
20 to 30 minutes of foreplay.
to get what?
That's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. You see, average.
To get wet?
That's not
You
right.
crazy as fuck.
See,
No, like real shit. Like if
That's what they
this
say.
is a person who, if this is your first time having sex, or like say y'all just went to dinner, y'all are talking and vibing. If you are starting to rub on them, that's when it starts. Like if you're
Okay, I
trying
see
to
what you're
get
saying.
her there, it
I see
starts.
I see what you're
so
saying.
20 to 30 minutes. But if this is someone you've already been intimate there, the feeling and the chemistry is already there.
Once again, the
Maybe
first time, I
5
can
to 10
bypass.
minutes.
I can
That's
bypass the
interesting.
first time, but still, I feel like, yo, especially when you putting your like, I put my best. It's still that's why I call them chicks Sudoku puzzles. Like I put my best shit in because I feel like if you're not wet enough, I feel like I'm damn near the R word. Like that's what I feel like.
The
It's
chemistry
like,
just isn't
you're
there.
not exactly, and
The
that's
chemistry
like.
is not there.
Use your
And that's
stick.
why, and that's why I say it's still
That's
it's
what I
still a
was gonna say. I
female's
don't wanna
fault
be that guy.
because you know
I got it. We got a couple.
I don't turn you
I'm gonna
on.
lick your
Right.
shoulder. I'm gonna lick
So
your
how do we
neck,
make
I'm
it
gonna
this
get you
far?
down.
Like-
if you're not there by the time I'm there, nigga,
yeah.
Period.
we in
I
there.
don't understand why
But
this
it
is so
doesn't stay
difficult.
wet though. Like
Even after the
spit, it's
spit?
like
Even after the spit,
if
lube.
you're not turned. I mean, lube. Some people. Okay,
I
so
never had these
If you
experiences.
know that you're dry, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have lube available, right?
Yeah.
But if you're typically wet or you're really attracted to that person, you don't need that. So now you're introducing a new
Yep.
person into your body. If you may have liked them, but now that you're having sex, it's just not dicking. The dick just ain't dicking,
I
or the
agree.
head is whack, or you have now realized that I don't like them as much as I thought I
did.
liked
Yeah.
them.
And
Okay, I can
People look
understand that.
different outside of clothes. So if I'm a real, because I be physically
That booty
attracted
ain't
to who
sitting
I'm
right.
dealing with. Like I really have to be, like I be so attracted to my man. So for me to be attracted to you, and then I see you naked for the first time, and like it's some weird shit going on, I might be like, what
Why
the
your
fuck?
stomach sit lower on you?
Or I mean, you know, these are just conversations. Like maybe you had a bad burn, or maybe you just had an accident when you were younger.
I mean, you had a bad tattoo.
Or a bad tattoo. Like
tramp stamp.
people might not say that to you, right? Because a lot of the times, you know, people see me and they're like, "Oh, how many tattoos do I have?" And I tell them, but if I got on a long sleeve shirt, you ain't gonna know.
Oh fuck.
Who got tramp stamp?
Come on, tell the people about the friend that you have with the tramp stamp.
I'm good.
You sure? It's a
So
great
those
time
are
to talk.
things to think about. Like,
But also, I feel like I would respect the chick who got blue. That just tells me, you know your body very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see no problem.
I always have lube just because that pussy good. We might be here for a minute.
I got it too, but if I got to use it first, I feel some kind of way. Like I understand having to use it eventually, but if I have to use it first,
I can only spit so much.
Exactly.
As I'm having sex, I get dehydrated.
Yeah.
I'm less alive in the beginning than I do at the
friction
end.
involved, that can disappear as quickly.
Right.
But if that's the first thing I got to grab, it's like.
but I feel like if you a woman and
it's
you
no
know,
different
like
than
you
trying
on
to
that,
ride a flaccid
there's
dick.
like
No.
suppositories that you could put in that last for like 2 or 3 days. So you may not even know that she is,
On some wet shit, on some suppository.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
you would not know.
I respect
because
her
she can prepare
consistency.
herself ahead of time.
I respect her
So
consistency.
it's just kind of like,
But I'd be more mad. It's like, so you just knew you was gonna get some dick today, though. Like,
Yeah.
Getting that shit out.
Knew you was
we
home.
knew we already know we want to fuck y'all. Y'all talk yourselves out of the pussy. Y'all do
Yeah.
something for us
Yeah.
to be like, I'm glad
I
I
agree.
didn't fuck him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because we already be wanting to fuck on y'all.
But that's why
We just want y'all to do something to earn it. So the psychological part of us
I
doesn't
picked
feel
you
like a
up.
hoe.
What you mean?
No, like
I'm joking.
You just lost pussy.
Right. You just lost. But see, the thing is, but see, the thing is, the rookie me would have had a problem with that. But now it's just like, well, shit, I'm in the same boat I didn't have, which is pussy. I'm cool. Like I have to, if I talk myself out of pussy, so happen. All right, well, I'm in the same boat. I didn't have your ass, so I'm not losing anything. But I'm also not. I'm in the same position. I'm not gaining anything. I'm not losing. But rookie me, not talking myself out of no ass. Like I'm gonna tell you all the right
I
shit.
talk myself out some ass.
But now I have no problem. It's like, well, that just means we weren't meant to fuck anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's all good.
My first Tinder date, I talked myself out of some ass.
You
I was
what?
pissed. My first Tinder date.
That just means you weren't supposed to hit. Because if you were
Probably
supposed to hit, it wasn't nothing
yeah, I
to
mean,
get in the way of that.
What'd
shit.
you do? Or say?
Let's talk about that.
you gonna let me put my foot on your neck?
No. Let's talk about the time that you talked.
I appreciate it.
You left Steve hanging.
I want y'all to answer this question too. I want you to answer first. The time you talked yourself out of pussy and the time y'all talked yourself out of dick.
I ain't talking myself out of dick.
Yeah, women don't talk themselves out of dick.
I want your nigga telling me no.
All right.
No.
For y'all experience, you thought you was gonna get some dick. It didn't. That's a question for y'all.
No.
Y'all thought y'all were going to get some dick. Wherever that happened that night,
Don't happen.
it didn't
If
happen.
anything, it's head. Like
Whether he
if
talked
we
himself
fucking,
out
we
of it.
gonna fuck. But like oral sex doesn't automatically happen. So I can be like,
For who?
Oh, so if a nigga said, well, you ain't getting no head tonight, you be like, all right, yes, sir. Straight up real quick. Say one more thing, no head tonight. No tongue lashing of any kind. You stop talking shit.
So I feel like
10 miles out of my
that's what
radius.
would be like, because we can have angry sex, but it's like the oral.
You could do
component.
that.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, I'm
you
liable
can.
to kill you right
I don't
now.
like anal sex.
I can't. If I might choke you a little bit too long because I'm still pissed off. Now I'm in jail.
But no, I feel
fucked
like
her
it's
to
the
death.
oral
Like-
component that couples can talk themselves out. Like, you know, I was going to eat your ass today, but you know what?
You open your
No,
mouth.
I see what you're saying.
I didn't like what you cooked for dinner. So I might still hunch on you, but I'm not going to give you the
Hell,
extra.
yeah, I didn't like what you cooked for dinner, so you get. It's like shit.
You done had chicken
I ain't that bad.
too many times in a week. Like,
Told you I
cook
wanted
something else.
Told you I wanted salmon. He decided to cook chicken.
Yeah, I should have got the fuck up and start cooking something. We can go to that. I don't know. I see it different.
Not McDonald's.
Oh, you just really want to eat her up, huh? Don't make me not.
I'm not about to.
cute.
I'm
I
not
just
about
wanna
to get on
eat
the
you out.
pussy
I mean, eat you
over
out.
the salmon.
Eat you
We can
out.
have salmon tomorrow, but if I wanted salmon that bad, I should have just cooked.
No, I mean y'all can still have sex, but on your end, it's like, you know what?
If
She's
you
not
plan on
deserving
giving
of
her
this
this
action.
bomb ass
She
sex,
didn't give me $300 today, so fuck it. No head for you, bitch.
Could be, but I'm just saying, like, a person can piss you off and you be like, if they touch my dick, I'm still gonna fuck them. But I'm not gonna give her no head. Like, I don't care enough in this moment to give you the extra.
Don't you hate that when y'all arguing, they rub over, y'all sleep in the same bed?
And push your ass against me.
And I just so happen to wear the lingerie you like too.
Cause y'all know what time it is. Don't tell me no. Okay, play with me for next one.
Right.
Yeah,
I actually am attracted to a woman who can take charge like that. Like, nigga, you get more than wood. I'm up. What you want to do? You gotta get hard at some point, nigga. Like, I don't know. I like a woman who take charge like that. Like, all right, you really wanted it that bad. All right.
I can't have angry sex. If I'm angry at you, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to eat your food.
And I want to eat your food.
Are you willing to risk it all? But I respect.
Don't cook for me.
But
none of that shit.
I respect the hill you trying to die on. That means you are pissed. Like you are dumb. Like
he said, I'm not eating your food.
Whatever.
Say
you're not eating food means that.
Damn.
I am this mad. I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I don't even want to see you naked at this point. Right. And I've been there and I respect it but also certain times, depending on what's going on, I'm not willing to say all that. Like,
I should say with my girl, not with like, No,
I understood what you meant. I understood what you. Of course,
casual,
if you're doing that with
you're probably not cooking for me.
With a chick that you just have no intentions, then I would question you. Like,
fuck you got going on?
You trying to find love in all the wrong places
right.
over there, right?
And what I said the other day too, I talked myself out of some ass on Tinder because I've always been a lover boy, and I've always been like more of a saver hole. I've always seen, and I'm afraid to admit that I've always seen hope in women and certain people that I mess with, and I couldn't just distinguish a girl who I wanted to be with and a girl who I didn't want to be with. I would treat them both the same.
So would you say you like the fact of being needed? More?
No, it wasn't a needed factor. It was more of just like if I had something to give. I guess it's a needed factor. I guess you could say that. But it was more just like, like if you ask me an honest question, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. And so with me being like,
what's the question?
Well, you're right.
I don't remember. It was
go ahead and tell us.
Oh, it was so long ago, I don't remember, but
it was you just know that you said something, and that bitch was like, you know what?
Yeah,
fucking you.
But you know what it is too. It's like women play a part in it too. Women don't always necessarily want the help or want to be able to be in a position where they get advice that they want to grow. Sometimes you guys are like, this is my current this is my current situation, and I've decided that I'm going to be out here being promiscuous, and I'm okay with that current stage in my life, which is fine. But with that being said, y'all typically look for bad boys and niggas who ain't shit and toxic niggas. Because because you don't want to commit to those people, but you end up with them niggas and get digmatized, and then it ends up bad for you guys. Versus like actually going out and finding like what's the group's name? The group of the financial dudes who out in Atlanta. It's not casual finance. It's at your leisure, earn your leisure.
Don't they got a website?
Yeah, Earn Your Leisure. They're
big
on Instagram, and they're finance guys. They have real estate and stuff like that, but they're not like not nerds, but they're like casual dudes. Dudes that are not perceived as sexual, and they wear basketball shorts, whatever. But they got all the most money. Who knows if they're not swinging dick or not? But you'd rather fuck with most women would rather fuck with a 2 Chainz or a Future. Or someone like that's toxic versus to fuck with Russell Wilson.
But it's also I feel like it's
attraction too.
It's the perception because those type of guys would let a motherfucker know, oh, she's protected. To me, that's why I feel like because women always want to behave. Their behavior, their environment dictates their behavior. So with those certain guys, it's like, oh, I'm protected. Oh, this is street nigga. Oh, so ain't nobody gonna fuck with him.
You're at least protected.
No, yes, baby,
you like that shit? Oh shit,
no.
Yeah, throw us in the pussy.
No. Look. I agree. You are at least protected because you are also in his soft spot. So which means you're the most vulnerable. I can get to you if I want to get to him. I can get. All I got to do is
I
get to
don't entertain them type of men.
But
It's also love my life.
The protection, and if that person is known to, don't fuck with him. That's a real nigga. All right, well, shit. Let me fuck with him. Nobody's gonna fuck with me.
I do not.
I'm always under his protection. I benefit from being associated with this guy. All that, so it's the perks, and I feel like
I feel like that type of woman isn't gonna appreciate that other guy, no matter how attractive he looks.
not till she's 40.
Because she doesn't. That spice is not there. She doesn't value herself enough to know that this
Mix
is
grapefruit juice with it.
how she's supposed to be treated.
Promise you.
You know what I'm saying? Like some
Yeah.
people just they don't know any better until they go through so much bullshit,
And, that's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
it's
That's
like
It's already too late. So when you
it
get
takes,
to
it takes you to go through fucking 2, 3 fucking futures in order for you to be like, you know what, Russell Wilson is there. It's
but by
That's
that time,
exactly what I need.
but by the time you got it is and this is usually the case. You got kids involved,
Say what I'm gonna say.
multiple kids involved. You don't look the same as you used to. So when these motherfuckers that wasn't worth it got you in your prime, I now have. So I'll say it like this: if you have the money where you can afford a Bentley, why are you gonna buy a used car that's been in 3 wrecks?
Right, because it's not even about a looks thing. It's like now you.
It's not
you would. I know you was in the street. You was fucking with all these niggas, and now you want to come in here.
Yeah,
and
it's not about looks.
Like, no,
but
I
it's
just want to fuck
I
too.
not, but it makes sense.
I
Like,
just want to fuck too.
why would I get the used car if I can afford a Bentley just by waking up in the morning?
I
like,
definitely get it. I feel like that narrative is like, oh my gosh, so watered down. Only because, again, if I didn't personally know you, right? But back then you were the less popular guy, the guy with the money, not flashing on the scene, played the background. We never knew each other, but that was your personality then. I was in a different space in my life. So just through time and experiences, I'm now in a space now where I want to be comfortable. I want to be financially secure and emotionally secure.
I get that.
You're that guy now. So how I look doesn't matter because you're meeting me looking like this. So if you find me attractive, I'm going to be what you want as far as physically. As we get to talking, if our conversation and our ideas align itself, you're going to be attracted to me on that level. So everything else that comes, my children, my past, and everything else, at this point, if we're clicking, that doesn't matter because this old school car, you find the value up under the hood. You can dress up the outside, but the value of this engine is priceless. It doesn't depreciate with time. My mental and my emotional and my psychological has increased versus that woman who doesn't have any kids, doesn't have the emotional trauma or experiences to deal with you and know that, you know what, I can look at you and tell you having a bad day. I know how to cater to you. I know how to make you feel like the king without you having to do too much because you are him. So I kind of feel like guys are so hung up on, oh, she had kids and this is what she used to like and what she used to do and why now you want to be with me. But think about that girl who's...
I disagree with that completely.
But you know what sucks
That's
for
what he
guys?
just said.
No,
That's
but,
what he just
no,
said.
but what
And
he's
you
saying,
agree.
what sucks for guys is everybody know been through it. I want the experience I've heard about. But now when I get there, you're that special one I want to be with. I didn't come here for that. I want the whole experience. I don't need you to switch the fuck up. All of a sudden you found God's spiritual
well, get
being.
her to
Like,
give you the whole
I think,
experience.
and that's what I'm saying. But when I think about like girls in general, like that think now it's just they have. I think that girls get value obviously later on in life, and I think that eventually pussy's in retrograde. After 21, like your pussy loses value every day, just like everyone's dying every day that they're not born. But at a certain point, you want to give it away at that point versus like trying to harvest it. And women eventually.
you got some.
You
You
29. You got
got
us
some.
time. Give us time.
You got some. And
then-
I'm not saying this has anything to do with looks. It's just
Pussy's
you
a
understand
retrograde.
why
Pussy's-
some guys
pussy's
are little.
an appreciating asset.
I like the
Appreciates
chick with
faster than
experience,
penis.
but also I understand why some men are just like, yeah, nah. Like, I wanted you before when you was this, not why you this.
Yeah,
Like,
and I said,
even,
notice I said, I made it my business to say you didn't know me before.
no,
You didn't know me before.
But
so you
for
have
the
no
ones-
tabs on my past or my experiences outside of what you physically see and what we connect and talk about.
I think a man values a woman. So what I was disagreeing with you with is if I don't know your past, I'm not gonna question it. I'm 31 years old. I don't give a fuck what you did in the past.
I'm still gonna fuck.
And even if I cared, you don't know. Like, where are you from originally?
Tampa.
You from Tampa, okay? So imagine if I'm from Boston. I've never met you, and I wouldn't know anyone you went to school with in your whole entire life. You could have been a whole slut, freak, 6 dicks in a night type chick, and I would never know. I meet you and you present yourself as who you are. I'm gonna be walking around thinking I have a queen, and there's 100 niggas looking at me like, yeah, what?
Got my balls face, nigga. Shit.
Oh, that's
She see my ass.
Shit.
That is so.
Kiss my ass by kissing her.
But like, I would never know. That's what I'm trying to say, and I'm not gonna look to know. Like, I've already made a commitment. I might find out later, like, oh yeah, but I've already made a commitment to you. It's not gonna change how I see you and how I view you.
Okay.
Because one man's trash and another man's treasure.
But I understand some men
Trash
look at
ass
that. I mean, it's unfortunate some men look like that, because it's also like, you've been to jail, but now I'll forever see you as a felon. Right. But you never have a redeeming
quality.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but I also understand some men do look at like that. Like, oh, well, I ain't get you in your prime, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it sucks.
The prime is the prime. I feel like now it's like 30.
Nigga, I ain't getting you in your prime. Like, I don't understand this way of
thinking. But but it's true. But see,
30,
now
30 is easier, because 30 is like, yo, like, we fuck. When you're 21, it's like, you want my pussy? Now it's 31, like, yo, what's up, nigga?
It tells you a lot about the person.
What's up? I'm about to take you out to this movie. I'm gonna come over and watch Netflix. I'm gonna pass it the user screen, nigga. We could be kiki. Now who's the user today, nigga?
Now that tells you a lot. I feel like it tells you a lot about a person, because how do you work to make yourself? How do you work to improve yourself to make yourself worth more? Because with all this experience and shit, you're starting to race in the back versus someone who, for example, don't have kids or never been with a bunch of niggas. You're starting at the back. So how do you?
People can lie about shit like that. People get their kids up all the time. What are you saying?
People can't. No. But,
I know a girl right now. I'll show you a girl that if you walked up on this bitch today, like, she fine as fuck, and that bitch has had, I know for a fact, has had at least 12 abortions, at minimum 12 abortions, has 4 children that she gave the fuck away. So and she's a fucking whore.
God, double homicide.
Literally.
I hate to laugh at that shit, but she had a point.
No, but the thing too is, like, it's about personality at the end of the day. Like, looks fade. Looks only stay for a temporary time. When you're young and 21, 22, 23 years old, looks is fire. But when you're 31, 32, 40 years old, eventually it's like, yo, I got to deal with you for a long time.
Right.
I got to be cool with you. And if I have enough money and I'm 40 years old, I might deal with a 21-year-old that I fucking hate outside of me fucking her. Right. I'm going to deal with all of her annoying
But he just said women that come with baggage start in the back.
No, I said men and women. Like, your experience, all that, you're starting me. I'm not as fit as I used to be. I start at the back, so I have to bring a little bit fucking more to the table if I want to get to the front and be looked at.
So I agree with what he's saying, but the difference between men and women, right? Pussy's in retrograde, not as fast as penis. You know why? Because we have money. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You're not so much more attractive. There's only so much money. More, if anything, if you have more money,
I'm dealing with a lot more bullshit.
Right. For a long-term relationship, if you have the money, now I got to be a bitch. Now, I'm not taking it away. I don't mind a woman with money. That's absolutely
still step in this house.
Right.
I run this.
For long term.
Who you want with them, I run this.
Right, but for most men, a woman with money is intimidating.
Yep.
So, like, your pussy is in retrograde because you're getting older, as we all are. Every sex organs in humans are in retrograde after 21. So yours in retrograde. We can make it up by having money. You're going to fuck an old nigga in a wheelchair with $100,000 and suck his dick because he has $100,000. Right. Versus a woman, if a girl's walking around with no legs and no arms, she has $100,000. I am telling you that pussy.
She walking around with no arms and no legs, though. Like,
she gonna be the only legless motherfucker walking funny by the time I'm done. I am swan diving in that shit.
That is a bad example.
And you'll never hear ouch. I am going in on that shit.
I am
going in on that shit. I'm bored in.
I seen a chicken like she with no legs and I was like, yo, I
seen this video. I sent it to y'all.
You gotta worry about the legs.
You ain't gotta worry about getting in the way.
Yeah, I got little arms. She said, well, at least you have some.
We ain't gotta worry about shit getting in the way. Oh, it's hurt. We be in this position too long. Oh my god. I can't put my leg behind my head hurts so much. I got a cramp. I can't ride. No problem.
Oh my god.
Put you on a little string.
Hold my head.
I'll attach you to the ceiling fan. You going bungee jumping now?
You going to hell?
You going bungee jumping?
No, yeah, definitely going to hell.
Well, as long as she ride me, her legless ass ride me, we good.
So I don't want to bring cap people into this, but like a girl in a wheelchair versus a guy in a wheelchair, they both have $100,000. Niggas will probably, women I feel like will still fuck with a nigga with $100,000, and most men wouldn't fuck with a chick in a wheelchair with $100,000.
Okay.
But the money doesn't make her any better. She's still where she is, and the pussy's in retrograde.
But I just feel like I'm like if I have to know. I'm not as, like I said, I'm not as fit as I used to be. So, versus what's out there and available. So I now have to, being dark niggas, not light skinned. I can't just smile at a bitch and she, let me get your number. I gotta learn how to fight, gotta be funny. Right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta learn different shit to.
You gotta work harder.
Yeah, approach it from different angles. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as we get older, a lot of women, like we talked about with Nia Long, that's one that just niggas was just happy to fuck and was cool with it. It's probably she just wasn't that good in the bedroom.
100%.
But dudes is like, this Nia Long, I'm good. So a chick can get so far
with not having good pussy, with
just being her looks alone, that when she run to a nigga like that who's been a basketball player, probably had some pussy, athletic, been around,
mad pussy,
and it's like, you gotta bring a little bit more to me because I'm more experienced. Like this ain't my first time around the block. I'm cool. Like
you're Nia Long, but I'm Big Dick Daniel.
Like you gotta bring a little bit more. You gotta have a little bit more flair about you. Like so, it's like so now she got there and thought, because based off what she was able to keep around and what guys were happy, like, oh my god, she starfished it, and I'm so happy to just be in it. Mm-hmm. Now somebody who probably required her to ride, like, I don't give a fuck about your leg cramping up. You need to ride this dick, like, and that's a good segue. If I can fuck you with a cramp, you gonna ride this dick with a cramp.
And that's also a good segue into why men also won't. It doesn't matter about a man getting a pussy or not. If you don't provide other things outside of good sex and a comfortable environment, a nigga's not gonna want to fuck with you. Women think, 90 days or 6 dates or whatever it is. If your pussy is whack or you're not providing anything to a man beyond certain qualities, he's not gonna want to fuck with you regardless.
Patrice
after getting it.
If you didn't have pussy, how would you keep your man entertained?
Love that question.
That's a good fucking question. If you didn't have pussy, how would you keep him entertained?
Oh, you're asking me?
Mm-hmm. He brought it up. I guess we asking now.
Oh, y'all asked the question at the thing, and I was just like, my personality, my conversation, my charisma.
Whack. Yeah, you go.
Yeah. I was asking. I was just asking.
How entertaining is going to be depending on the person that I'm dealing with. How entertaining is going to depend on the person that I'm dealing with.
But it's not about you, though. Just like a man would sit there and go to your family function. He don't fucking like none of your motherfuckers. He don't like none of them, but he would sit there at that family function and smile, say what's up, be cordial, all that, but he don't like none of these niggas. I don't like your mama, but I'll sit there and respect, smile, because it's what you want to do. So that's why I'm saying it's not about you being yourself, it's how do you keep him entertained? If he likes playing video games, are you going to try to learn to play the video game?
Unfortunately.
To play Call of Duty? Yeah. I mean, but if that's the case, I totally respect that. But that's why I like that question when he asked, because when he asked that to women, nobody had shit to say.
I'll be like, what? Just like, what do you bring to the table? I'm like, y'all bitches is dumb as fuck. How y'all don't have nothing to, like, at the end of the day, I don't have to name off a lot of materialistic stuff. Like, it's really me. Like, at the end of the day, you wouldn't be here if you wasn't fucking with me because of who I am, how I make you feel,
in a way,
and everything that you cannot put a price on. Because at the end of the day, everything that we're talking about that comes with the price, you're paying for it. So if you get really, really down and out and fucking bad, those people that you are paying, you no longer are able to pay them. But me, the person that you feel safe and secure with, Whether you got $1 million or a penny, I'm still going to be here because I genuinely care about you and I love you. So when you ask me what I bring to the table, if we're already on that level to care, don't fucking ask me that dumbass shit.
So loyalty.
But I mean, I feel like but I feel like you said, the level you're at, if you've been fucking with yourself for a long time, I understand why it's a dumbass question. But I also see, because saying me could be sound like a cop out. Like if you don't know what you bring to the table, what's wrong with saying, I don't know what I bring, but I'll bring what you need.
I mean,
like because a lot of people will say, "Oh, me, I'm different, I'm special." It's a fucking cop out. If you don't know who you are,
but that's exactly why I say it's going to depend on the person that you're dealing with, because not every man likes the same thing. Like I done fuck with a nigga that literally only want to do shit outside. Like he outside. Bitch, you are so aggravating to me. At this point, I don't give a fuck about keeping you. You're so aggravating.
It's always night when
because your house
out.
Smells.
What?
Fuck with you.
We said something totally different.
What you said?
I said because it's always night when you out. But.
Shut the fuck up. Oh
but I mean, if you've been fucking on, I understand why that's a stupid ass question, especially you've been fucking with me for a while. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, it's like, so what about you? Like, I respect a person so much more. I don't fucking know, but what you need. Because I don't even know myself. Like but I think that's just me in general. Like, we figure out what's needed. All right, bet we're gonna bring this. Like this, I see you missing this.
It's the application of it. Like,
I get it.
I get 10 bitches. What makes you so special? Well, not a motherfucking thing. Go be with the bitch number 9.
But that's real life.
Because I'm no longer.
But that's kind of real life. Even when you're fucking with somebody, what makes you? What you gonna do? Because what you gonna do to make me choose you every fucking time? Same thing men gotta do. What do I gotta do? It's gonna make you choose me every time.
You know what? I disagree with that. Purely because when women have options, it's because they're beautiful. When men have options, it's because they have material.
No, I done seen some trifling, sorry ass fine motherfuckers.
I ain't never heard them words ever together like that in my life.
That's big facts though.
That like. I mean,
I'm not.
If you're not financially set, 9 times out of 10, you're going to fuck her really, really well, or you're going to treat her really, really well.
So
because she has so much more to offer than you, and you know that if you get her emotionally invested in you, she can pour into you and level you up. So. You can't necessarily say that a woman who's beautiful has more options over a guy that isn't financially set, because there are a lot of attractive people in the world, male and female, who just suck. But because they're attractive enough, somebody's gonna give them the time of day.
Right.
And then you're gonna play on those things that you know that is just common knowledge, cook, clean, be of service to someone. Like, don't nobody like a sorry ass person who don't do nothing. But I could be a sorry ass person who like, you know what, I need a place to stay. So you know what, I'm finna do this, and this. Make her feel like I am an asset.
In love faster than a nigga who need a place to stay. If you got a motherfucker who's homeless, if you got a fucking person homeless, they're gonna clean the best. They're gonna do everything way better than you ever had.
Top 3 dick givers: people that live in the basement, people that live with their moms, and people that are homeless.
I've been homeless before.
Yeah,
so I've had to level up my game for a shower before.
But even like with all of just going back to what you said, if you have a lot of money as a woman, they will buy guys that are less successful to just be there for them. Like,
oh no, that is that right there. I remember I got a motherfucker to have me put her child on tax return and just asked for $1,000.
She better than
based off the fact that I only spend a weekend there a month.
She's stupid as fuck.
The most minimum fucking time, and I got so much out of her ass.
Where's she at?
Huh?
Where's she at?
I don't know. Somewhere. Her teeth fell out, so I'm like, yeah.
What?
That right there. At a young age, that's what I question. Like, your teeth? She didn't say shit. She pulled out the motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up!
And I know her since high school, yo. So all right. I know her since high school. So I got out the military, moved back home, and we were just. That was my homegirl. That was my friend. But I'm just like, so this
Yeah,
happened.
all the angles.
Yo, I would have been sick.
I mean, I've always personally wanted a Velveteen rub, but I'm good.
You going to hell?
I'm good.
Think about the angles you get hit in the face with the
Hey,
no
man.
gums.
I
No
feel
teeth.
like
She on
that's
that.
probably not the best head. If I
It's the
say
best
No
head.
scrape. No scrape.
No scrape.
No
The
scrape.
gums
All
are
the
probably
angles, you
hard
just
as
hit
shit.
left and right.
And she don't even do this. She just rub your dick on her gums. That.
Oh my God, Ramon!
I'm sorry.
Shut up. Shut
I'm
up.
sorry. That,
Oh, was she on drugs?
I don't know.
I said
Like,
meth.
we would-
Meth, yeah.
Meth.
and it could have been it, but I didn't know her. I like I said, we were just hella cool in high school. I
White
knew her.
girl?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I knew her family. It could have been. It very well could have been. I knew her family since high school, so I would just go chill out. But I was able to get all that shit just by just coming over and chilling and saying what's up. It just being a friend. But when I realized I was used
Thank you for being a friend.
I mean, there are people who just,
they like that time.
I'm not buying love.
yeah. I mean,
And that's why when you said it, I was like, yo.
I want to be a sugar daddy. That's my goal in life.
Really?
Yo, I'm
Goal in
done.
life is to have a nice, like 2
No.
or 3
I wanna
chicks
be
on the
a
side
sugar
where
baby.
I'm just like, hey yo.
Nice segue
Hey,
to that.
yo.
Yeah, that was very, yeah.
I just want to come over. I want to drop some dick off. I want to say what up to your kids. Bring you some cereal.
But you been,
Bring you
you
$200, $300 and dip out.
any cereal. I ain't doing none of that.
That's
But
my- that's my
it's a
life
sugar
goal.
daddy actually.
I
hit
want to
me?
Anna Nicole situation.
You want to
Yeah,
stop?
you owe. No, he damn near dead. The fuck is you talking
Anna
about?
Nicole, he literally.
Didn't she die?
I mean, eventually. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was.
Oh, you wanna
that's the
get
first
the
thing when you say you want to enter the culture.
no,
Hold
like
on.
she was
Hold on.
one of the like.
We can talk. We can get you help, yo. Like,
No, she was like one of the documented like sugar babies.
Yeah,
like,
no,
this
I know,
man was old
but-
as shit. She talked him into putting her on his will and like all that
That's
shit.
game. Fuck it.
But his kids, they
Challenge
somehow they were able to lessen how much she got out of him, but she still got a lot of money out of him.
Dakota Shaver heard, right?
That's
I was
fucked
fucking
up.
with this chick. Her grandma said, I was like, I would go over there and watch Practical Jokers with grandma.
Mm-hmm.
She put me on. I'd be like, yeah, the fact that you ain't here is even better. I love fucking hanging out with your grandma. She dope.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her one day, I was like, you ever go get a boyfriend again? She's like, the day I get a boyfriend, he has to be 6 months. He has to be on his last 6 months
I know
before I forever get a man again. And he got to put me on his fucking will. Yeah. I was like,
Look at
"You a
Granny.
cold motherfucker, boy." I was like,
She
all
said
right.
what she said.
Oh no, she for a little small lady, she was for a small white lady, she was gangster. Like,
See, I'm the type of nigga to get a girl and tell her she's on a will and have all that shit donated to a fucking GoFundMe somewhere.
Damn.
and send a whole bit. Gotcha, bitch.
Fucking, Toys for Tots, nigga. $1.6 million going to Toys for Tots.
No, I would have to
She just
check that
sick.
shit like
Yeah.
She just sick.
all the time. Like I would have to have a
Show
separate
me.
contract with the same lawyer to be like, when you change this shit, it's your job to tell me.
You know what they used to do in the military? If you didn't put your wife as your significant other, as who you married to, as a beneficiary, they sent them a letter telling them that. Yeah, especially the Marine Corps, they would send them a letter like, all right, you don't put your wife, then we're sending them a letter.
Damn.
Like, yeah,
Bitch, where's the confidentiality?
Even if you put your mom, you didn't put your wife.
What you got to do is you got to get married outside the country, so it's not actually legal inside of America. So she thinks that you're actually married. But then you get the beneficiary.
Probably
inside.
because people used to just present themselves as married for the
But
benefits.
it's not
or
even that.
shit
It's
like that.
it's a thing. It's just like you
Niggas-
didn't.
military niggas are cheaters.
Your wife don't know. We're sending her a letter, yo. Like so that way when you die, she don't be like, "Well, I'm his wife." No, he didn't put you down, and that way when this dude died over in deployment, you not surprised.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
because I used to have to send them motherfuckers out. Like, oh, you didn't put your wife down? Just so you know, even if you put your daughter or your mom down, we have to send a letter out. I don't want to do it, but we're gonna have to send one.
I just kind of feel like, wow.